I have all of the line work done. So what is next? Next is I am going to use a Zig pigment ink. It says waterproof, but best thing to do after you use a pen like this is to dry it with a heat gun and just let it sit for a day or two. That way when I go on to the varnishing step, it won't run. I'm going to take my pen and I am just going to do these very jagged line work. I am going to go around all of the dark petals. So let me finish that and I'll be back. I am done with the line work and it looks really good. I just did the line work around the darker petals. And what that does is it makes the light petals pop up. I am going to leave this alone for a day or two so that that ink really dries well. I have my sunflower all painted and ready for the next step. I want to put on a gloss medium on here. I also want to tone this down. So I have my palette. All that paint is dry. Remember, acrylic paint dries, will not move again. Here is my Liquitex gloss medium. So I am going to put some over here. There it is. Maybe a little more. And then I am going to use the Golden Fluid Acrylics Burnt Sienna. Now, you need to use what you have. So any kind of a brown or a light brown would go good in here. So let me put some of that in. I found a brush and it has a pretty big tip. So I am going to mix these together. I like to keep my surface as clean as possible. I need a baby wipe. Have my baby wipe. Now I am just going to dip into that. And, oh yeah. See how that tones it down? And this is looking exactly the way I want it to. I also need to get some stain in between the petals because that will be showing when this gets hung on a wall. So let me do that part and I will come back for the next step. This is completely dry now. I have the, I did the gloss medium. And I also stained the back so that the back looks nice. You always want the back of your things to look neat. As I look at this in my monitor now, so I'm going to do more line work on the petals. I'm going to splatter, and then at the end I am going to use texture paste to build up that middle. Yes, yes I am. Let's find a pen. I found the most permanent marker pen that I have ever used. I just did this mark and then I took a tissue and I went over it. It did not move. I did not realize I had such a gem in my possession. So I am going to go around where it is already dark and I shall make it darker. And like before, I'm going to do short strokes. Oh, that looks really good. Okay, I am going to finish that and then I'll be back. The next step in my project is to splatter this. I am going to use cadmium yellow by Deco Art. Use whatever you have. I am using, this is a warm yellow. Squeeze some onto your palette. That's too much, but that's okay. And then take your water spritzer and you want this to be thin. So mix it up. I am going to use a fan brush and dip it in that paint and just pat it out a little bit. Now you take your brush and then you take just something else and you hit and it splatters, hence splattering. And that paint is going to go wherever I direct it at. Now sometimes you will get big blotches like that. Do not try to correct that. Just close your eyes and do it. And that, I call this done to this point. Now the next thing I'm going to do is I am going to make a textured middle. And I have to ponder that because I don't know if I want it to be, I have to go look at a sunflower is what I have to do. So I'll be back.